911, what are you reporting? Sorry, did you say something bad?
Yes, miss, I'm really bad happened. She's bleeding.
Where is she bleeding from?
Oh, going to hang out with the folks and some friends and family today. Guys? Looks like they're all here. The TV's on. Dog's here. Go outside. What the? Somebody out here. Where is everybody? Guys? I guess I'm gonna get something to drink. Whew. Sorry about that. Had a little episode there. Hope this is safe to drink. I'm just kidding this time. Thanks for joining for some more popcorn, guys. So for episode 4 of BrassReel, we're going to be talking about the unlikely film by Barry Levinson, The Bay. So Barry Levinson is a phenomenally acclaimed director. He has an amazing portfolio. I'm just gonna name a few. Diner, The Natural, Good Morning Vietnam, Rain Man, Bugsy, Sleepers, and that's just some of his older ones. He's even kept current. He's constantly putting out films. Sphere, Bandits, Envy, which I loved, Wag the Dog, Rock the Casbah, and that's just some of them. That's not all of them. There's a ton more. So for him to do this movie, The Bay, was highly unlikely, but man, was it awesome and is very effective, and you kind of believe it or want to believe it. It's actually pulled loosely for something that was really going on in the Chesapeake Bay with all these like chicken farms, and there have been reports of them pouring out the chicken excrement into the Chesapeake Bay, and this was like steroid loaded chicken excrement, all that stuff. I don't want to go too off the rails on that and be conspiracy theory or whatever, but there was a case of that happening and people getting sick somehow. And so Barry Levinson just did a ton of research on this idea of what if this escalated to a truly like tragic, horrific, epidemic, pandemic type situation.
There's something wrong with the water.
This stuff has chemical steroid in it.
And it's based on this idea of these creatures called isopods, which are microscopic organisms that latch themselves inside fish, and they basically feed off of the fish and they eat them from the inside out, and they do get larger, and these are things that really exist. So a lot of the footage you see in this is either based off of some real footage that he saw, some of it actual footage, but all of it is based in reality in the sense of something that's already going on. This is just talking about it on a much larger scale, on a what if scenario.
Now I'm flying over the water here, and well, there's just dead fish everywhere.
But man, because of that and the way it's shot found footage style, like everything is either from surveillance cameras or from police footage inside the car or police body cam or somebody with their phone or from reporters. It's all stuff that's made to feel like found footage, truly documented footage, not movie making. But man, that adds to everything in this film. It is so effective. By the start of it, you're just like, all right, how bad can this get? But it has this creepy element. The way they start looking at the water and doing close-up shots of the water, and like there's this scene where this mayor is talking to the town and he's like, this is the best water I've ever tasted. All of it is extremely just eerie and creepy, and you start to think to yourself, oh my God, what if this could happen? I mean, to me, it's really scary. And I do get scared by some paranormal stuff here and there, but I mostly have fun with those movies. There's certain parts of certain paranormal movies that scare me. Like The Exorcist, obviously that's scary. But most of the time, the paranormal stuff I just have fun with. The stuff that really scares me is the idea of something really being able to happen. or something that's happened, like serial killers, people really doing stuff, or something like this, like a pandemic happening, like some sort of an outbreak. I think they call this biological horror.
We're in the middle of some kind of viral outbreak. It's eating their organs, intestines, liver, it goes for kidney.
Again, I can't stress how much you guys need to see this film. From it going to just this kind of low-paced, simmering thing that starts to feel like it's about to boil over, and when it does boil over, it's so effective and so real and not a horror movie grab, but the gore is effective when you see it. I'm telling you, by the time you're watching this movie, if you're watching it with somebody else, when you see certain parts happen, look at their face and see what they look like, because they're gonna be like, oh. And again, highly unlikely for this guy to do a movie like this. In the behind the scenes, he talks about how much he feels like this movie needed to be made. And most true artistic directors want to say something with their films. And he felt like he had something to say with this, and he needed to do it effectively in a horror fashion for it to get across. He even says with his own words in the behind the scenes, is like, these news stories exist on a daily basis, but they're overshadowed because you can't overshadow them. So to display it in a horror form like this to make you actually think about, is this going on? I think there is something to say about it, because we do treat the planet pretty crazy. But like I said, this director has huge credits. He didn't need to make this horror film to stay a part of the game. I mean, he's up there with like Christopher Nolan, Scorsese, Ridley Scott, James Cameron, Spielberg. All those guys very much acknowledge and recognize who Barry Levinson is and what he's done. And I think because of him being such a good director is what makes this movie so scary and effective. But over this course of the movie, you're just following like this reporter, Donna Thompson. You're following this couple with their baby that's traveling across the bay to get somewhere else to join like the party for the 4th of July. You're also following a doctor in a hospital ER situation, showing you the politicians. It's just showing you all different angles and point of view moments of this terrible outbreak. The trailer is a little misleading because they're making it look like that maybe some people are like running around like zombies or something.
Be okay.
But that's just for some scare moments. But the trailer has more false scare moments than the movie does. The movie doesn't have any false scare moments. Every scare moment in the movie, it's not just a jump scare for no reason. It's a jump scare that makes you jump and then you're like, oh! But overall, The Bay, fantastic. Highly recommend this one. You gotta check it out if you hadn't seen this, guys. Not only is it gonna leave a mark on you for horror films, but it's gonna leave a bad taste in your mouth. Literally. So, The Bay. All right. That's some unsafe popcorn, but worth watching for sure. Well, guys, that wraps up episode 4 of BrassReel Halloween. Thank you so much for tuning in, and tune in tomorrow for Texas Chainsaw. And remember, hit that like and subscribe button to help us get famous. Find us on Facebook, BrassReel Brothers. You can find me on Facebook, Bobby Williams. You can find me on Twitter, BrassReel Bobby at BrassReel. And remember, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, bloody popcornies.